Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Love It Others' blog. Well, today I'll be teaching us about social engineering and specifically phishing. Now, what is social engineering? Social engineering is the use of deception to manipulate an individual into divulging sensitive information. When social engineering is being carried out, an attacker tries to deceive the victim, which here is the person being attacked, tries to deceive the victim through different means. It could be done through text message, it could be done through voice call, it could be done through email, just to get the victim to divulge or reveal sensitive information. Now, there is a specific type of social engineering that is very common, and that is where I want to base my lessons today. That is phishing. Phishing attacks have become very common in our society today, and it is very important that you learn how to identify a phishing attack. Now, let's talk about phishing. What exactly is phishing? Have you experienced it? Let's find out. Phishing is a kind of social engineering attack where an attacker sends fraudulent emails or messages to its victim, pretending for these messages or emails to be from a prominent or reputable organization, with the aim of getting the victim to divulge sensitive information. Now, you see that it is very important that for every email you get, for every message you get, especially links, you need to think before clicking. Now, the question is, how do you identify a phishing email or a phishing message, whichever one is the case? There is always one thing very common among all phishing emails: the need of urgency, or rather the need for you to carry out an action now. You get an email saying that your bank account is going to be blocked in the next 2 days if you don't carry out also an action. Provide details, you click on the link below to fill out your form, survey. And most emails like this, 90% of the time, is a phishing email. There is always a need for you to react almost immediately. That is one of the ways to identify a phishing email. So another way to identify a phishing email is request for information. They are always asking you to provide a sensitive information, something you should not share with anybody. That is one of the ways to identify a phishing email. Imagine someone sends you an email, you click on it, maybe there is a link attached to that email, you click on the link, and the link is asking you to provide some information, be it login details, credit card details, your personal health information, your whatever it could be. Most of the time, this is a kind of phishing email. Now, another way to identify a phishing email is need for urgency. Just like we explained, need for urgency is that this email will always ask you to do something without thinking. The attacker does not want to give you time to think about your actions, because you know that the moment you second guess it, you could find out that you're being phished. So the attacker always puts a need for action for you to perform something without thinking. Another way you can identify a phishing email is through the sender's email address. Now, some attackers, when they want to attack you or when they want to send you a phishing email, they use an email that looks like the company they are trying to mimic, or rather the company they are trying to pretend to be from. Now, they can send you, instead of, let's take Google for instance, someone is trying to impersonate Google to send you an email that is a phishing email. The person's email address could be something like info@google.com instead of the regular google that Google is known with. Now, that is why it is very important that when you get an email from any company, any person, you want to go back and check the sender's email address. Another way to identify phishing attack is through typo errors. Although attackers are getting very smarter now, that they are being very careful about how they type, but most of the times phishing emails do have typo errors or grammatical blunders in them. So you want to read through that email correctly before you act. Now, knowing all this, how do you protect yourself from phishing attacks? One of the major ways you can protect yourself from getting phished online is by thinking before you act. Someone sends you a random email with a link asking you to provide some information or asking you to vote for them on something. You click on this email and this email is asking you to provide sensitive information. It is very important you do not do that. Never provide any sensitive information in response to any unsolicited requests. You will not ever click on a link when you're not sure of it. When you're in doubt, it's better you do not click on that link. Another thing you must note is that phishing is not only done through emails and messages. Phishing can also be done through voice calls. This is the kind of phishing that we call phishing. Now, we call it phishing because it's done through voice call, and the attacker aims to also get sensitive information from you. The attacker could call pretending to be a top recruiter from an organization, asking you for some details. The attacker could call pretending to be your boss at work. The attacker could call pretending to be a long-time friend. It could be anything at all. All depends on the motive of that attacker and the information you have within you that is very valuable to such an attacker. So before you call out those credit card numbers for anybody, think about it. How sure are you that these people are not fraudulent? How sure are you that they are who they claim to be? So we need to be extra careful when it comes to security so that we do not fall victims. I have seen many people fall victims of social engineering. Myself, I fell victim of social engineering in 2018 when I knew nothing about cybersecurity. So it is very important that everybody is aware of cybersecurity, phishing attacks, and how to protect themselves against these attacks. Until then, kindly stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and subscribe, share, and like our videos. Until then, I remain your humble host. Love it, Odozo. Thank you.